Welcome to the Barrel Room Chronicles. I'm Carrie Moynihan, a certified bourbon steward, former bartender, and all-around whiskey aficionado. I travel the world to explore whiskey from every avenue. For the last 20 years, I've been helping others tell their stories through television, film, and other media. But now I'm taking my love for whiskey and my experience in the entertainment industry to uncover the fascinating stories of the water of life. So kick off your shoes, pour yourself a dram, and join me for this episode of Barrel Room Chronicles.
If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. With everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. It's free. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
It is 5 o'clock somewhere, and you've tuned into episode 11 of BRC. For those of you who'd like to watch this episode, it's available on our website, YouTube, and Spotify. Today in our Tales from the Still segment, I speak with Kirsty Black and Lauren Oliver of Arbikie Highland Estate Distillery about the Scottish Highland's first commercial rye whiskey. Then later in the show, Chef Louise Leonard joins me to talk about a patty melt in today's World of Weezy. Stay with us.
Fine wine has long been a cornerstone of wealth generation and preservation. The problem? Historically, it's been reserved for the ultra-wealthy. VinoVest is changing that. Wine has 1/3 the volatility of the stock market and has outperformed the global equities market over the past 30 years, with 10.6% annualized returns, proving that the returns can be just as robust as your favorite red. It is so easy to get started in diversifying your investment portfolio. VinoVest makes it easy to acquire new investments. Equipped with a team of world-class sommeliers who evaluate wine and determine which ones will gain value over time. You own the wines in your portfolio outright. You can buy, sell, and even drink them whenever you want. Go to http://zen.ai/barrelroomchronicles to receive 2 months of fee-free investing. Be sure to mention that Barrel Room Chronicles is helping you save on 2 months of management fees. It's time to start investing with VinoVest today.
Well, hello, ladies. It is so nice to have you here. We have a semi-returning guest, Lauren Oliver, who is with us on Spirits of Whiskey, and we have Kirsty Black, who is here. Both of them are now with the Arbikie Highland Estate Distilleries. That's such a fancy name. I love it. And before, when we had Lauren here, she was the mash lass, and now she's got a different position at a different distillery. So we'll get into that shortly. But Kirsty, do you actually make this lovely juice? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I oversee production at Arbikie. There's a group of 4 of us, and we make all the different products there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, as we usually start out, I ask about your whiskey journey, but since you guys have more than just whiskey, I'll just ask about your spirited journey. And since if we have any loyal listeners, most of them know at least the first half of Lauren's, we'll start with you, Kirsty, and then we'll go to Lauren after.
So Arbikie, it started in 2014. So I joined the company then, and at that point, it was like an abandoned shed on a farm. So that's really what makes us different at Arbikie. We're a farm to bottle distillery. So everything that we process in the distillery, we grow on the farm.
Wow.
So that it began with potatoes. So we're primarily a potato farm, and we've got lots of, I don't know if you call them that with you, wonky veg. So not the perfect shaped potato that supermarkets will accept. So they were kind of going to waste at some point. So we wanted to make more out of them. You know, they take the same amount of effort and inputs to grow. So we wanted to, make them into something special. So we started out with potato vodka, back in 2014. Yeah.
Okay. And how big is the property there?
That was interesting. The farm is, I'm terrible at that sort of thing, 3,000 acres, is that right?
Okay, that's pretty big.
Yeah, 2 to 3,000, something like that. Yeah, big estate.
Now, when you were a wee little lass, did you ever think that you'd be, making alcohol as an adult?
No, yeah, I had quite a convoluted trip getting here. I did grow up on a farm. It was a fruit farm that we grew raspberries and strawberries. But
Oh, nice.
I worked in medical devices as an engineer for nearly 10 years before I
Wow.
decided to get into alcohol. Yeah.
So basically that job drove you to drink, and this is how you get over
I
that.
wouldn't go that far, but yeah,
But it's a cute story. It drove you to drink. Now you make it yourself. Anyway,
yeah.
so what lured you into the spirit world?
Yeah, I guess I'd been home brewing for a while whilst working, and then just I fancied a change, so I ended up going to Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh and studying
Oh,
brewing and
nice.
distilling there. And I kind of went there thinking I was going to be a brewer. You know, I like beer, I like making it, all that processes. And then we just started distilling, and I was like, hold on a minute, this is like a whole new world of magic that you put all this stuff in and get a clear liquid out, but full of flavor. So yeah, it was a bit of a revelation.
Awesome. Do you still homebrew at this point, or you're like, no, I'm over it? I do that at work.
A little bit, but not much. Yeah, now that you do it for a living, it's or similar steps for a living. Yeah, not as much now, but sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, and
I think when Kirsty has her own pot still, she doesn't need to brew in the bath anymore when she's got her own distillery at the site.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's focus here on Lauren for a second. So Lauren, last we spoke, you were the mash lass over at Glengoyne, and now you've gone a little bit north to the Highlands and are no longer mashing. So what's your new role, and what's the reason for the change?
So I'll always be the mash lass at heart, but I just felt it was the time to take all the knowledge that I've gained so far and apply it to something else. So from people that have maybe listened before, I started as a guide, and I worked my way up through all the distillation processes by studying warehousing, mashing, distillation, and I just wanted to then share all that knowledge that I have with other people. And I've followed Arbikie since the beginning. I love the story, and don't tell Kirsty this, but I think she's a bit of a rock star in the distilling world. So Arbikie are opening a new visitor experience centre in April this year. And I just thought it would be the perfect combination, bringing the experience I have from working in the traditional malt whisky industry and bringing it to this new, fresh, modern distillery that's opening their experience centre. So I'm now running the new visitor experience centre at Arbikie, open in April this year. So I hope everyone from America comes over and visits me and enjoys their tours as we take them around and we see Kirsty at work. So a bit of a change from when I last spoke to you, but an exciting change, I feel.
Yeah, and probably a little lighter on the arms.
Yes.
As the
I have put on a little bit around the middle because I'm not used to I'm not carrying my yeast bags anymore, not carrying that 60 kilos of yeast up the stairs every day now, and I can tell the difference. I'll have to cut back on the chocolates.
Oh no. So who wants to tell me the story of Arbikie? Because it sounds like it's got a pretty fascinating story. Like what drew both of you to Arbikie, and why is it so special?
Well, I think my story is maybe a little bit different to your story because I came in slightly later. But I've been drawn to Arbikie since you first started distilling as a company. I just thought that the field to bottle element of what this company was trying to do, I just found it fascinating. I love the modern take. I like the fact that Arbikie made their own base spirit to produce different products, and I just liked their whole ethos, and I liked how they were really sustainable and just looking at distilling in a whole new modern way. So I followed the journey from when they started as a customer and a fan, and that's what drew me to Arbikie. And then when this opportunity came, I just couldn't pass on it, so that's why I did the move up to the Highlands, just to be part of the Arbikie story. And
I was going to say, you must have had to move because
it would have been a bit of a long 3-hour commute.
Quick.
Yeah. So 3 hours up the road, and I felt like I followed the Arbikie journey for so long that I just wanted to be part of the next step of their journey, with the opening of the new experience centre. So that's my side of what drew me to Arbikie.
Very cool. And okay, so Kirsty, so tell me a little bit more about Arbikie and its beginnings, and who brought you into the world of Arbikie.
Yeah, so it's the Sterling family that own Arbikie, and I met them when I was studying at Heriot-Watt University. Ian, one of the brothers, so there's 5 brothers and a sister in the family, but Ian approached the university and asked for a student to study developing Scottish gin recipes, so really representing Scotland in a glass. So that is what I did my master's dissertation on. And then after that, they offered me a job, which is was very lucky on my part. So yeah, as I said before, when I started, it was just an empty shed. So I think I just like figuring things out. So the first thing we had to do is figure out how to build the distillery. So that took the first 9 months, and then from there it's been just continuous us trying to figure out how to do things. Potato vodka was the first challenge. Not many people process potatoes in the world. Right. Never mind Scotland, nobody did it. Yeah. So it's a whole different set of equipment than handling cereals and grains. So we weren't taught how to make that at university, so there was a lot to learn.
So how many different bits of agriculture do you guys grow there?
So the farm, so they grow potatoes, barley, wheat, and now because of the distillery, so initially we could only process what the farm grew, but now with time we've now fed back to the farm and requested that they grow things for us. So we've added rye to the mix and peas. Oh, great. We process them in the distillery too. Yeah.
Oh, what do you use the peas for?
We make a base spirit and we make a vodka and gin out of that.
Out of peas? Oh, I didn't know peas were used for that. That's pretty interesting. Cool.
Well, they're not. This was the first time it's been.
Okay. Sorry. So I'm not as out of the loop as I thought. Okay, that's good.
No.
So you guys sent me 2 lovely spirits. We have a gin and the rye, which I've already started drinking. So I think we should taste those and then talk about each of those. And then so you have vodkas and you have a gin and you have this. What else do you have, or is that what you're doing right now? Just the 3?
That's we've got 3 vodkas, 3 gins, 2 flavored vodkas, and the rye whiskey. Yeah.
Yep. Oh my goodness, that's a lot for such a young distillery.
I know.
And we have some malt that's maturing nicely in the warehouses as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of single malt in cask. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what flavors are your vodkas? The flavored ones.
We've got a chili vodka and a strawberry vodka.
Ooh, that's pretty diverse. I love that. Okay. Well, I have the rye.
All using again.
In my glass.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I have the rye in my glass. So if you want to tell me about that. That's got a very nice cereal note to it.
Do you want me to go or you, Lauren?
On you go for this part while I pour my glass.
Sure. So yes, we say we've been making single malt from the beginning, but we also started rye as initially like a little test project to see if we could do it. And then when we figured out we could, we've kept it going. So this whiskey is made out of rye, wheat, and malted barley. It was 60% rye, and it's all grown on the farm here. Like rye used to be processed like over 100 years ago in Scotland, but it was just stopped. So we kind of brought that back, and we wanted to bring it into our farm to increase farm biodiversity too. So it's sort of a mutually beneficial product to be making.
Awesome. And out of all of these spirits that you make there, what's your favorite to make and what's your favorite to drink?
Oh, that's a hard one. So I can say my least favorite to make is potatoes because they're really cold and messy. Beyond that, I like each one's got their own quirks. And I was originally a plant scientist, so I really like the mashing side of things and understanding what goes on in a plant and all the temperatures to hit. So I like the differences and how you have to adapt that process to get the most out of them. to drink. Depends on the occasion, definitely. Summer, sunny days, it's obviously gin, but then, yeah, whiskey's probably my favourite drink overall. So.
Yes, good answer.
Yeah.
And what about you, Lauren? What's your favorite to drink from this portfolio?
So again, it depends on the weather, but I love the new Nadar one. So we'll move on to that in a little more, I suppose, the tastings of it, but it's so light and fresh. So, you know, if you're just sitting with a summer barbecue, that's a go-to. But like right now after work on a Friday evening, which it is for us here in Scotland, it's definitely the whiskey. And
Nice.
I love the rye, because if I remember correctly, Kerry, I know you're a big fan of rye whiskies, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm a single malt, and then I'm a rye. So
yeah,
there we go.
And I just love how smooth the rye is. When you drink it, I find it so enjoyable when you're just sat down on the couch at the end of a long week, to just sit and savour and sip, and to know that I'm drinking the first ever Scottish rye in over 100 years just makes it that's sweeter. Yeah.
When you told me that you had a rye, I was like, what? We gotta talk to these people.
Yeah.
All right, let's
so
try
we
this
just
gin.
had a new release out, launched the 2021 rye as well, and it's available in the US. So
it is.
Yeah, it is. Yep. So
Great.
that's another limited edition one.
Awesome. I'll have to keep a lookout for that.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, this gin has got a very light.
Oh, you've moved on. I'm still on my whiskey.
Oh, well, you know.
This is the gin that's made out of the peas as the base spirit.
Wow.
So at Arbikie, we like to do world firsts. So the rye is obviously Scottish's first rye in 100 years. That's a world first. And the Nadar, which I'll let Kirsty explain in a wee bit more detail in a second, is another
different flavor.
World first. There's no other product like this anywhere in the world, not just the UK, in the world.
So it's delicious.
It's quite special.
Yeah.
Do tell. How did you think of peas?
Yeah. So it's a whole lot of research I do. Peas are really good to grow for the environment because they don't need nitrogen fertilizer. So before we grow all these other cereals, they've got a big carbon footprint associated with them. So peas don't require fertilizer, so they avoid all those emissions. And then this product, is made out of peas, and we've flavoured it with botanicals grown on site. So we've already got 2 gins out already. One's like a more traditional one. We've got a spicy one. So we really wanted to make this one a little different. So we've gone for citrus and herbal. So the 2 main botanicals are lemongrass and macroot lime leaves, to sort of complement that base spirit of peas. Yeah.
I do taste the lemongrass for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I'm very excited about this.
I think it's the lemongrass that makes it so nice on a summer's day. You know, that citrus element that comes through on it. It's one of my favorites.
I love that. So what do you see for the near future for the distillery?
Well, the Experience Centre this year is a massive task for the distillery this year. That's our biggest venture of the year so far. We seem to like to do a big project every year. By this seems a bit, we had our climate positive gin last year. We've got new rye, and then this year we've got the visitor Experience Centre opening. So it'll be really nice to invite people in from all over the world and start to share their Arbikie journey. So the distillery is based on the family farm. So people are actually going to come to our farm on the Highland estate, and they can see, you can look out at the field while you're drinking your dram, and then come back and visit us in 10 years' time and go, wow, I saw that crop in the ground, and now I can see it being distilled, and now I'm drinking it from the bottle in my hand. It's a true field to bottle experience, and I can't wait to start sharing that with people at the centre this year. It's going to be quite magical. There's no other distillery that can take a product and tell you exactly which bit of land that the crop in that bottle came from. It's so unique. And I think people are going to really, really like to come and experience that.
I think so too. So I know you're in the Highlands, or how close to other distilleries are you?
There's not that many. It's not such an intense area. There's a couple nearby. It's a couple of single malt distilleries and a couple of gin, but it's not as crowded here.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. And we're right
That's
on the
good.
beach as well, so we have a lovely
Ooh.
coastal atmosphere
Yeah.
that's maturing our malt casks as we speak, which is lovely. We're right on the beach. There's only just our field and the road between our distillery and the beach and the coastline.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you see there any possibility that you may go back to mashing at all at this joint?
Oh, never say never. Never say never. You know, if Kirsty wants to take a holiday, I might just step in and put my mash lass hat back on and get in amongst the peas. I've never mashed peas before, so that would be a new experience for me. To mash some peas or potatoes. Yeah. But I'm really enjoying my new venture at the moment. Just growing my knowledge. I think it was definitely the correct step to take, but I will never forget my mash lash roots, because at the end of the day they got me to where I am. So
of course, and now you get to play with all these other beautiful expressions of different spirits, which is, you know, growth is great. So
and
congratulations on the move.
Thank you. If I'm taking all these tours every day, then in my opinion I get to drink more on the job than if I was mashing it, right?
Right. Exactly.
Uh-oh.
Exactly.
All these tasting sessions that we'll be doing.
Love it. I love it. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today to tell me all about the spirits that you have and this beautiful distillery. I can't wait to see the tour experience, visitors experience. The best of luck to the growth of the company.
Oh, thank you, Kerry. We can't wait to welcome you through our doors.
World of Weezy is up next. Stay with us.
If you like what you've seen on BRC, you'll love what's coming soon in the Barrel Room Parlor. As a member, you'll have exclusive access to various spin-off series, including The Cutting Room Floor and the Telly Award-winning series Kindred Spirits. To create your membership, visit www.barrelroomchronicles.com and click on Become a Member. Once you have chosen your membership level, you'll be able to enjoy all the extra content it has to offer. You'll even be able to participate with the show by commenting on videos and other posts. Don't wait. Sign up today for exclusive content in the Barrel Room Parlor.
Hey, Louise, nice to have you this week. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back, Carrie.
Okay. My best girl, the mash lass over from Glengoyne, I contacted her. I said, hey, we got to get the mash lass on the show. And she tells me, oh, well, I've moved to the North Highlands and now I'm with this other distillery. And Carrie, I know you love rye and I know Louise loves rye. So let me tell you, we have the only, so far, Highlands rye. And I thought, oh my God, we have to try that. So she sent over some rye, some gin, and we had a great talk with her and Kirsty earlier today about the whole distillery and how it's, you know, farm fresh and all that great stuff. So I sent them over. What'd you think of those samples?
Oh my gosh. Love, 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 love. Can I say love again? Oh my gosh. Yes. Loved it. And I love the story. I mean, the mash lass. Okay. That's first of all, the best name ever. But second of all, the fact that this is the first rye of that area is completely amazing. And I was thinking about it when I was really like trying to wrap my head around what to pair this with, which there's just so many. But one thing that I was thinking would be super fun to do is to make a version of a patty melt, which is, I realize, very American of me to do. However, I was thinking, I love a patty melt at a diner. I was recently at this really great diner in Idlewild, California, which is a funky mountain town about a couple hours outside of LA. And I was looking at the menu and I saw a patty melt and I was like, oh man, I just don't eat those very often. But what I was thinking about with this whiskey is doing a patty melt. They're always served on rye bread, at least they should be.
Right.
But instead of doing a beef patty, doing a salmon patty, making like a really delicious savory salmon burger, but serving it on rye bread with sauerkraut, like a homemade sauerkraut.
Okay.
And it's generally Swiss cheese, but you could Omit the cheese if you're one of those, definitely Italians, never put the cheese with the fish. I'm from Wisconsin. I don't have any problem with putting a slice of cheese on a salmon burger. I would probably do maybe something like a sharp provolone would be really good with the sauerkraut salmon burger, maybe a caper aioli. And I think that all those flavors combined with this whiskey, amazing. Amazing, amazing. And I probably put a splash of that whiskey in the salmon patty as well, just because.
Well, that sounds good. I mean, why not? I mean, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let Lauren and Kirsty know what you think of their delicious rye and what you think to pair with it and how to cook it up. I think it sounds great. Can't wait to try it myself as usual. I mean, I'm going to have to start writing a book down of all the stuff you tell me about and just weekly just start making them at home.
Absolutely.
But you'll probably have to come over and show me how to do a lot of it, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, it's, a cookbook should probably happen with all of these amazing pairings that we're coming up with.
For
and,
sure.
Tell those lassies that we need to pay them a visit, and I'll make all of this for them.
Sounds good to me. All right, Louise, until next time, we'll see you later.
All right. See you later.
Arbikie Highland Distillery. Visitor Experience Centre now open.
For show notes on today's episode, please visit www.barrelroomchronicles.com. If you like what you heard, please rate and subscribe to the podcast. If you really liked it and want to show your support, buy us a whiskey through our Ko-fi site. If you work in the whiskey industry or run a whiskey bar or club, and you'd like to be featured on Barrel Room Chronicles, register to be a guest through our website. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, Solange.
Barrel Room Chronicles is a production of First Reel Entertainment and is distributed by Anchor FM and is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.